Hey guys, here we go. This is part 2. If you missed part 1, see it before. All right, so watch this. We started with websites like these, and we have not been paying attention to page speed for a long time. Our page speed really sucks. Scale of 1 to 100 for these 4. The ones that really matter are the outer 2. Okay, performance is what users experience when they land on the page. How does it feel to them? Is it fast? Is it responsive? Does it look right? Can they hit a button without accidentally hitting another one? That kind of thing. SEO is similar. It's stuff you do with the web page structure that helps people understand what's going on and be able to react to stuff on the page faster and easier. So how readable are your H1 titles and so forth? Okay, and your H2s and H3s, and how well does the scrolling effect work, and does it fill the whole viewport? It's things like that. So these scores come directly from Google, so they do matter a lot, the outer 2 scores. Now, most people never get in the green. Where does green start? At 90, 90, 90, 90, and 90. If you want to get in the green, you're from 90 to 100. And the difference in paying for the coding improvements to get from 90 to 93 is like half as expensive as the 93 to 96, which is like a fifth as expensive as 96 to 99, because it gets incrementally harder the higher you climb to revamp all the coding to the point where you're actually on top of the game. This stuff isn't easy. You can't go to Fiverr and get it done for $100. This is like, if you take a website and you try to do it, it could be $5,000, getting your scores from right here to high in the green, for example, right? Now, there's a reason I'm bringing it up to all you guys, so yeah, bear with me. Let me walk you through. I'm going to show you our end results, but before that, let me show you what the world is like. So we're going to take a competitive keyword, okay, locksmith Seattle, certainly a competitive keyword, 4,208,000 results for the thing, right? We're going to skip past the sponsored and the map. So we're just going to start opening the real mom and pop companies like this one here, Broadway Locksmith. And then we're going to skip Yelp and skip Angie's List because it's not apples to apples. Then we're going to do the next locksmith site down, then the next, and the next, right? Let's take a look at their scores. So boom, already opened the first one, already opened their scores. Desktop, ooh, they're pretty bad. Performance is even in the red. Red is below 50, okay? 50 to 89, so like 0 to 50 is red, 50 to 90 is yellow, 90 to 100 is green. Just kind of think that way, right? So here we go, but SEO was really high. They had to have something working for them, right? What about mobile? Is 46 going to go up on mobile? No, it goes way, way down. But their SEO is pretty good. Why does it go down on mobile? Because it's harder to get the scores higher on mobile. Most of the time, if you have a website, you have like big banner images that fill a desktop screen, okay? And when you load that on a mobile phone with a tiny little screen, it is loading that great big 1920 pixel wide by 1200 pixel tall image and then shrinking it real fast to fill the viewport, right? And so it takes longer for the mobile phone. That's less efficient. You should have a smaller version of the same image, and the web page should auto sense if somebody came from a mobile phone or a desktop or laptop or a tablet. And even if they came from a mobile phone in portrait or a mobile phone in landscape, and deliver just the right size image. Can you believe that? So it's not about loading them all and choosing, or that's backfires. No, it's about auto sensing first, grabbing the right image, and then sending it with the web page. Okay, isn't that wild? So it's a lot of work getting the scores up, and especially on mobile. Okay, let me continue. So here's the next website down. Their scores pretty freaking good, right? So it's other reasons that they're number 2 instead of number 1. They probably didn't optimize for that keyword as well. Okay, very simple concepts, right? But sure enough, their mobile is in the yellow, right? 80 for the performance. Desktop is great. It's 98 on a desktop, but 80 on a mobile. Now, usually when do you need a locksmith? It's when you're locked out of your car, your house, or your office, right? And so you're usually on a mobile phone. That's why scores on mobile and skewing towards mobile is more desirable for locksmith websites. It's also harder to accomplish. Take a look at the next website down, and we take a look at their scores. Desktop mostly in the yellow, mobile all in the yellow for sure, right? We look at the next guys down. Yeah, I mean, there are many factors that go into what you rank for, but these are things to consider. Okay, desktop, they're doing fine for performance, otherwise they're in the yellow. Mobile, they're doing really good for performance too, otherwise in the yellow. Their SEO is pretty darn bad actually on mobile and still pretty bad on desktop. So I guess it's their performance that's really carrying them the furthest as far as being as high as they are. Okay, so if we take a look at the next website down, desktop, really, really good, and they're doing all their best practices. Great. SEO's not that hot though. So that's probably why they're there, but they're low on the page, okay? Mobile. Yeah, I mean, even worse on a mobile phone, right? They may not show up in the same order on a mobile phone as on a desktop. You know that? Because page speed on a mobile phone has everything to do with, well, has its part to do with how high you can rank on the mobile phone for the same keyword as on a desktop. So the order of results on a mobile phone is often different than a desktop because your scores are different here, okay? All right, now let's take a look at one of our websites. This is one of ours, okay? It's a full-scale page. I just want to get that out of the way. Plenty enough happening here, okay? Not very huge, but still. Okay, and this banner is overlapping the wording. I know that. We just got to fix the spacing on it. That's easy enough because this is 2 lines. But look at how fast these pages load, right? Did you see that? 1, 2, 3. I click it. Ooh, it's here already. I click it. It's here already. I mean, it's like half a second to load the page, okay? I mean, it is screaming fast, right? And you look at our page speeds, what do we got? Okay, desktop, we're almost entirely in the green, and certainly SEO is 100, and performance is 99. We're going to kick butt when we index this thing. It's still no index because it's not even on the right website yet. We're going to move it to the right domain and finish off our core programming, and then we're going to flip it on and let Google know it's there. So this is huge. What about a mobile? 100 for the SEO and 91 for the performance. Not bad. Let me just say, not bad at all. Okay, especially in our case because flipping from a desktop view, we're going from this, okay, to a portrait view. So we're going from being horizontal to vertical with our imagery, right? I mean, everyone has to do that. But keeping the score that close together is cool. All right, what do I want to say? This one. This one's optimized on desktop so far. It'll be optimized on mobile tomorrow. But it is literally like the fastest experience I've ever seen, you know, for the page loads and stuff. Just absolutely insane, you know? And so, let me shortcut. A couple more points I want to make. Guys, you remember the Oxbow Tavern, right? We're all in the website flipping club. We all want to get way up here. They got huge scores. When you have large traffic, you know, you're ranking for more than 30,000 keywords. They used to be an M last month. Do you remember that? In our videos, this was an M because they were around like 24,000. Now they're over 30,000. They made it into the L. This probably makes them worth more on the resell. And what else makes you worth more? Your hang time for how long you can stay up on your keywords, right? Some of that is definitely going to be about page speed. How well is Oxbow Tavern doing for their page speed scores? Let's check. Wow. Desktop, just at the top of the game. Mobile, just at the top of the game. You want to have a lot of people coming, then you need to perform well, right? Who else has scores similar to that? We're getting there. We are so getting there, okay? Trust me, we're not playing games. This and this, the outer 2 scores are the ones that really matter, okay? No one really cares about best practices. Best practices will not affect your rank. Accessibility indirectly affects your rank. All that really means is if you're over like 83 on accessibility, you're totally as high as you need to be on accessibility because it's not really going to impact these outer 2 scores anymore, and those are the ones that really matter, okay? So we're playing with the big boys, okay? Pushing hard and getting to the top of the game like they are. Now, I looked up videos on, because, I mean, it took us 6 days, our crew, it's like $8,000 of hard cost to figure out how to make that work as one model on one website. And if you do man hours, $100 an hour, then it's like 80 man hours it took us to get one model correct. But from that model, since all of our themes use the same engine, then that model is being adapted to our themes as we go. We just did 12 themes yesterday. For the most part, we're still, like finishing off desktop, doing mobile as we go. But this is massively huge. Okay, now one guy just made a point of going without any kind of page speed optimization on the server. You're using the Apache engine and you're not doing anything else with it. This is the kind of score you can expect. Here's what most people use when they try to beat it is Lightspeed web server, LSWS. And when you use Lightspeed, the web server, then you might get a score like this on mobile. Okay, some websites, depending on how they're coded, you can get them this high using something called NitroPack, which other people are marketing as well. I checked a bunch of these guys out, and the more recent ones or the more serious ones, they're showing things like NitroPack. Now, I found NitroPack, they're making a killing, but here's the difference. This is free. This is a flat cost on the server, no matter how many websites you have on the server. So this is a one cost by the month that covers the whole server, no matter how many websites there are. This you pay for website by website. How much do you think it costs to get this high? After all, only about 1 in 10,000 websites on the internet have scores like this in mobile, let alone desktop. If you want to be in the green for both of those outers, performance and SEO, on both desktop and mobile, there's only about 1 in 10,000 websites on the internet that have scores that high. This is not something you can just get on Fiverr cheaply, and it's not something that comes easily at all. So guys who are coming in through a company like NitroPack, they're paying like $21 a month, if they're paying monthly, $21 a month, $51 a month, or $176 a month for each website. So if you did have a 100 stack website from us, you would normally have to be paying $2,100 a month for the page speed to be maximized. Nothing else having to do with the website. That's just for the page speed. Now that might sound insane or unbelievable or something, but people are doing it like crazy because they are in the kind of game Oxbow Tavern is in, where they're getting a lot of general purpose traffic flooding through their website through tons of pages, and therefore putting their ads up to get the sales off of them. So the front pages on their website pitch them. The sitemap is more broad and covers everything under the sun, and then uses ads to lead people to the front pages. Does that make sense? Okay, now the guys who want to rank the highest, these guys want to rank, these guys want to outrank them, so they're going to pay more. And then these guys want to outrank them and them, so they're going to pay more. Okay, and what you get is stuff like adaptive image sizing, which is exactly what I was talking about. The large image, different versions that are instantly made smaller that are served up first to every different viewport size. That has a lot to do with page speed. There's tons of things that do, but that's one. Font subsetting, that's another thing. Calling fonts into your pages, like the very fonts you see here are called in from Google usually. I would have to download the fonts. They would have to download the fonts otherwise to see them. Okay, otherwise they're substituted with a generic font like Text New Roman, Text New Roman, something like that, from way back in the day. But if everybody wants to see whatever font you want to show, then it's through Google Fonts. And Google serves that to everybody. Well, there's very complex code for speeding that up because it's a very slow process. When you load the page, it has to say, hey, Google, this is the font, quick. We need this font for the H1 tag. Oh, and this one for the H2, and that one for the H3, and that one for the paragraph. And for anyone who can't handle it, these are the substitutes. And we also need this for the bolding and that for the call outs and everything else. And it takes time, and that slows down the web page. It can't load until it can load all that. Okay, this beats. Okay, and this and some other things too, we have mastered being able to do on our own with our scores without needing to pay those guys to do it for us. The stuff that they do, I mean, it sounds like a shortcut, but it's complex. Those guys put a terrific amount of time and effort to create the engine functionality necessary to pull it off. but they shell it, they jail shell it so that you can't just cut them off. If you cut them off, you lose the benefit because it's temporarily applied to your web pages for every month you rent. In our case, that's not true. It's hard coded in to our websites so that always our websites are like this no matter what. That is the new future. So all the websites that we're doing now and putting out next are all like 1 in 10,000 for Pagespeed. It's crazy. All right, for those of you who want to get into the website flip program, the WFC, you should get into it. It's $1,500 for a website. And what we do is take website and we build it up, bunch of pages that are topical authority that are related, get the ads in there so Google wants to raise it, and then put your ads in there if you have them for anything like Amazon stuff. And it's okay if you don't have them yet. Let's build first. Then you can find stuff that you want to sell on those websites and incorporate that. It's a cool idea. And so we're choosing what it's going to be for. When you make a payment, you don't know what you're going to get. We might put you in landscaping, and we probably will at this point because it's a really good idea. And that's because there are 2 million searches a month, all for general purpose. And people who buy stuff off landscaping don't need to buy anything in any particular order. They get anything. And it could be patio furniture. It could be, one guy said bonsai trees. It could be the solar-powered lights that you stick in next to the sidewalks. It can be the lighting that you put up that turns on at night that just glows over the whole backyard. It can be the under fluorescent lights that go underneath steps so that you can see the steps clearly. All that kind of thing, right? There's all this stuff that can be sold. Whole mountain loads of stuff. And people searching for it left and right. So many people want to go in their backyard and add something new to make their backyard cooler. Happens all the time. So that is an awesome world to be in. We already started it. So we've got like some of the best keywords for that now already organized. So every next website you guys buy, we just put them into lists, line them up, and get them going. Okay, what do we do with them? Same thing as Oxbow Tavern. Do all the work here, push it all the way up, page speed way up in the air, and then up here when it flattens out, we turn around and sell the thing for like 40 times what it's worth. It would be 30 times what it's worth, but it'll be more like 40 times worth of what it's worth. Why? Because of the page speed. Because page speed means that we are at the top of the game for page speed delivery. So Google wants to keep us where we are for longer, okay? And then that way we can go to places like Empire Flippers, say, okay? And we can point out how much the website is worth, even in SEO value of the visitors, because that by itself is not to be underlooked. If you have something like that, website can easily sell for something like this if you have great page speed, great coding, you're on Amazon Web Servers, etc. People buy the website because you already finished it. It's already getting all that traffic that we earned here, okay? And they're going to pay 40 times what that value of the traffic is worth. Like if I go here, say, the value is worth $27,000 a month because that's what you would have to pay to get the 48,000 in traffic. 27,000 a month times 40 is like 100,000 a month times 10, you know, like $1 million. So even just selling it for 600,000 is a bargain. If that, well, okay. Comparatively, it's about the same thing. So there you go. That's the name of the game. What happens when we make the sale like 3 months later after getting it up, starting it? What happens when we make the sale? We get half, you get half. And what happens then? Take as much money as you want to roll in your next projects so that people are coming and wrapping back around, which is cool because we do backlinking through from one to the next all the way, which is great because it creates tremendous power to the guys at the top. And not just that, but you can flow through a bunch of things like this every 3 months. What happens if you turn 1,500 into, I'm just going to throw the 300K here because this looks like a number we can snatch and we're justifying it with the page speed along with everything else we have. Okay. So say you got 1,500 in, you got 300K out in 3 months. Okay. Maybe it'll take 4. Or maybe you get 200K out. Let's just be that way. I mean, all this stuff is transparent and obvious. No problem. But what am I saying? What if you roll back in with a bunch of $1,500 projects after that? Okay, you decided to get like 20 of them. Okay, well, this is a way to retire. All right, this is what we're doing as fast as we can to retire. I can do this as fast as I can with all the money I have for all the stuff I want to do to my max benefit. But for me to make more money, I have to split it with you for coming in and being the angel investor that buys the projects so that I can build them so that they can rise, so that we can sell them and split the monies. Does that make sense? This stuff now happens really, really fast because of GPT-4. It did not happen this fast before. You could not build all those pages that well before. You'd have to spend a ton of time on research, a lot of effort on copywriting and the drafts that go with it. And so the very fact that we don't have to do that anymore, we almost just look up the right keywords, put them in a list, tell GPT-4 what we want to do. Use these exact phrases in larger page titles so that they're different every website. And then I'll write about those topics within everything: introduction, structured pages, FAQs, case studies, pros and cons, anything else, and then conclude it. Awesome page. And then we put our table of contents in there, split the images throughout it, and we already have it maximized for page speed. Every page we create on a website is just a formidable force, formidable opponent for the keywords it's ranking for. So we do it with expired domains, auction domains that have the quality potential that websites like Expo Tavern had back here. And then we do the project over about a month, and then this takes off like crazy. And that's nuts. As soon as the curve starts to go flat, we're figuring out what it's at and decide what we want to sell for. It's going to be huge. If we don't come anywhere near as high as this, what are we going to do? Add more pages. We're going to look up more keywords, find more pages, because there's tons, and then start putting them in there, right? We could keep going like this, but there's a point where you make more money doing it once and then flipping it, and then doing it once and then flipping it, and then doing once and flipping it, and it takes too long to go twice and flip it. You don't make as much money that way. Better to go once. Hard in, hard through, hard out. Wash, rinse, repeat. Okay? If you guys want in, get a hold of me. Right now it's like by invitation only. I don't have buttons up for this right yet. We're just really pouring so much power into these pages. And right now, they're probably the best kinds of web pages you can buy in the nation. I'm not kidding. They're built on Ajax. They're hosted on the best AWS servers available to the public. You can use GPT 3.5 and 4 to write everything on the pages. Nothing is repetitive. Top quality coding, and the page speeds are maximized. Everything Google wants to see is there, as well as everything we want to say. And concepts like table of contents and interlinking and cross-linking and external linking and internal linking is all done. So it's done. And anything we need to fix, we can cascade fixes through stacks of sites. And even after we sell the websites, if it's in our interest to make sure that those websites don't flag on the buyers, then we'll just go back in, because we can remote control and shove those websites back up, which will be a benefit to them. If we see they didn't really change the web pages, then we can go ahead and change the web pages, right? If they change the main pages on the menu, fine. That's not in our list. We can ignore those pages and just work with the ones that we've been dealing with before. It's not an issue. So we can always take care of anyone to the degree that's consistently a benefit for us. The more websites we get flipped and rolled out, the more backlinking power rolls in through you. So the longer and more people come pouring in, the better you do. It's literally better for everyone that anyone buys, and then as everyone continues to buy, everyone gets a benefit from it. We structured it this way. It's almost like an MLM. First in, guy at the top. Next in, second-hand man. Next in, other second-hand man. Basically, it's a third-hand man. But literally, it just keeps going. And get in before the next guy does, so you get the benefit of the next guy's coming in right after you. If a guy's going to buy in 1 hour and you buy ahead of him, you beat him by the 1 hour, you're going to get him as an immediate follow-up, and it's okay. And then the other guys are going to keep pouring in. All that benefits you. Okay. Talk to you more about it later, but yeah, give me a call if you're ready to get in. Say, hey, Dave, I'm ready. I got 1,500, send me a Stripe payment or send me a PayPal payment, or where can I wire the money or where can I mail the money, right? Like a money order. I literally still have guys who are old enough that they prefer to send a money order, believe it or not, in the mail. It's still rare. Well, it's rare, but it still happens. Anyway, let me know how you want to get in and I'll get you in. And yeah, first come, first serve as those payments arrive. And as we find the expired domains and start filling them out with the projects, this whole thing becomes like a conveyor belt. It gets really fast. It's this first one that's taken the most time, but only because we had to take a week for the page speed scores. Now that we're there, I mean, all hell's breaking loose. There isn't anything left. We have one last tool for just auto-generating schema through all the pages. Big deal. I mean, we can do that. And the other one is for auto-generating the appropriate images, calling them in through all the pages, and we can do that too. So, absolutely amazing. Yeah, we're on top of this game more than oxbowtavern.com because guys who run those websites, they use Teams to build these up, but I don't know anyone that has the kind of automation at all levels built in that we have for just being able to do this the most efficiently. And without having to pay Nitro, whoever they are, pack. All right, yeah. You know it's worth $1,500 when this is what you would normally have to pay for that website only for the page speed. Okay,